Donovan Mitchell had to say post-game. Unexpected pair of Celtics make NBA and franchise history in Boston. Think about what you got to do that. We'll explain in just a moment. And speaking of history, the Great Eight continues his pursuit of the Great One at Madison Square Garden in a thrilling game. Ovechkin inches a little bit closer to Gretzky on the way. But back to the game that we followed on Wednesday evening. We say that the Oklahoma City Thunder are a wagon, and they continue to be just that. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander off a 51-point game, knocks down that three, and the Thunder had the ability to go on runs in a quick blink of an eye. There's two more, and it's an 11-0 run. Later, it's Jalen Williams' turn after the bucket from Ja gets them a bit closer. You heard Williams say and one. It is and one. Now into the fourth, about halfway through, Shai. So smooth with it, the head fake to get the gigantic Edie off his feet. Buries another. And after a 50-plus point night, a quiet 41. The man is just in a special space right now as the Thunder get the victory. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is thrown on the headset. Shai, hey, this is Scott Van Pelt. Man, this is long overdue. I've been hoping that we could get a chance to say hello. So welcome to the show. Thanks for taking a moment.
Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. So 41 tonight, and you've been a star in this league for a while now, but it feels this year that there's another step in the evolution, another gear that you've found. If you could describe sort of the space that you're playing in on a nightly basis, how would you describe it, Shai?
I'm just having fun with the game. Nothing more than that. I'm trusting my teammates, trusting my work I put in the offseason, going out there and just trying to have fun and play free, and I'm being rewarded because of it.
We see your teammates on a nightly basis with our guy Nick Gallo, right? Like, you guys have so much fun in those post games, and it's the word that basketball teams use a lot is connected. And the fact that you guys seem to enjoy each other's company so much, how much does that have to do with the level of play that you guys, again, are putting out on a nightly basis? Because it truly seems that you enjoy each other as much as anything.
Yeah, it makes us who we are and why we've been so good this year. We can play through ups and downs. We trust each other through the good times and the bad times. And we know that the work that we put in, and because we're so together on both ends of the floor and off the floor, that the things will just work out for us, and they have so far.
I think everyone last year, Shai, made such a big deal about the relative youth, and you're still a very young team, but you did what you did last year, and now here you are again. If there are lessons learned in that step in the process that apply this year, what might they be when we get to the most important games of the year in the playoffs?
Yeah, we got to be ready for the moment. We have to play a certain way, build certain habits. We talked about those, obviously, throughout the summer, and then this whole season. Our main focus is to be a better team than we were yesterday, and we've been doing that so far this year, and if we continue to do so, we'll be right where we want to be.
I appreciate you taking a minute. It's been a blast to watch you guys play, and hopefully at some point in the playoffs, after another dub, we can visit again. I thank you for taking the time this evening.
Thanks for having me. Yes, sir.
All right, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a 41-point night, and OKC continues to roll. Have won a dozen straight, and they've also clinched a playoff spot.
It's definitely a blessing, and it's an honor. You know, it's a sign of our hard work as a group. But at the end of the day, it don't really mean much. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's great to be in the playoffs, but when we started this and when I came here and when we signed, like, the playoffs wasn't the goal. You know, it's just another step, another step on our journey. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely happy to do it in front of the home crowd, but we got a lot more to accomplish.
Cavaliers won their 12th game for the third consecutive time this year. Think about that. 3 12-game winning streaks in a single year, becoming the second team in the history of the league with 3 of those in a single season. Joining the Mavs at Dirk Nowitzki.
Shut it down!
In the 6-7 season. That's a great drop, by the way. We should use that more. Victory clinches a playoff spot for Kenny Atkinson's squad. They're the first team to do that this season. Of course, they made it last year, lost to Boston, and then their coach was asked to go. He's in Detroit, and that's working out well. Last time the Cavs were the first team to clinch a playoff spot, it was LeBron's first stint in Cleveland. Including Wednesday, Cleveland improves to 20-6 in clutch time games, which is when the score is within 5 in the final 5 minutes of the fourth, and overtime, a significant improvement from last season when the Cavs had a losing record in clutch time. Kendrick Perkins joins me now. And Perk, I'm going to start with this Cleveland team. Look, they were good last year, but in the same way as I just talked to Shay about OKC, right? You could see evolution, taking the next step forward. Boston's still the champs until they're not, but what do you make of Cleveland as a title threat?
Look, they're the biggest threat to the Boston Celtics, Scott, in the Eastern Conference, and they check all boxes when you look at their roster, right? They have bigs in Jared Allen and Evan Mobley that's getting it done together. They have a dynamic backcourt in Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Then they have great bench play from Ty Jerome and DeAndre Hunter. Here's the thing. Tonight, those are the games that this Cavalier team need, right? In the clutch, being able to figure things out. We heard Donovan Mitchell in his interview talk about the 2 turnovers he had, the 1 turnover that Darius Garland had, and said that how they got to get better. That tells me that this team is locked in and focused and keeping the main thing, and that's actually getting prepared for the playoffs and preparing to make a deep run and possibly win the NBA championship.
Yeah, but you're still going to have to deal with Boston, and I'm still shaking my head, Perk. In my life, I've been doing this a while. I can't remember a dude having 9 threes and 41 and not having the most points or most threes on his team in a given night. How significant is it for Boston to continue to have guys step forward who aren't named Tatum and Brown, and there are hopes to win another one?
Scott, let me say this. A couple of days ago, I said that the Boston Celtics are going to repeat and win the 2025 NBA championship. And I was called everything but a child of God. And tonight proved my point. You know why? Tonight proved my point. Seriously. You have your 4th option and your 6th option both go for 40 pieces, all flats. That's how dangerous this team is. When they're healthy, there's no team in the NBA that's going to be able to beat them in a 7-game series, Scott. It is hard to do. These guys are stars in their role. They play agenda-free basketball. And when you look at their starting 5, there's no other team in the league that has a starting 5 that's all 2-way players when they're healthy. This team is going to repeat if they're healthy come postseason.
Perk, I've been hearing you say for years 40-piece all flats. Does that mean I can have the drums? Because who likes the flats? Give me the drums. You don't want the drums, Perk? Come on.
I do like the flats. In my household, we do order wings all flats. You can have the drumstick though, Scott. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not
Then we'll get an 80-piece, 40 flats and 40 drums, and we'll be straight. All right. Hey, I want to close with this because I know you're a buyer of OKC, and I don't. Why wouldn't you be? They're a spectacular team. I asked Shay about this, and I'm interested in how you view it. The idea of being as young as they were a year ago and doing what they did, but what you learn along the way. Because we see a mature group even as young as they are. We see a connected group that we saw last year, but are they better this year than they were last year?
Absolutely. And they have culture, Scott. They have culture.